And hello and welcome everybody to a different type of Starfield video. We normally do tips and tricks here, but I thought today we're going to switch it up, and I promised I'd bring out some other Starfield content. So here is a shipbuilding tutorial, and I know this is one that a lot of people like, and especially when the ships are great, and I have one for you here today. So before I even start, I'm just going to mention really quick, of course, if you find the ship useful, subscribe, like, comment, let me know how you guys like this kind of Starfield content, and if you're looking for more like tips and tricks, guys, check out the channel, and we definitely have more. I'll put some of those at the end of the video, and you can go watch those and learn something you probably didn't know about Starfield. But anyway, let's get to shipbuilding, guys, and let's get at it today. Alright, so starting off, you always have these problems when you grab missions from the mission boards. I always realize that sometimes it's just annoying having to try and smuggle cargo in, carry passenger, or just whatever you have to do. And even sometimes the piracy is just annoying in itself. Well, today, this ship here is going to solve all your problems. This is a jack of all trades, guys. This will take care of, and this is the best ship for dogfighting. This is the best ship for taking contraband. This is the best ship for space travel. This is the best ship in the game. And I don't genuinely think there's much better out there. There definitely might be, but I don't think you're going to find it for a while. The only con to this is it is going to take probably around 300,000 to 400,000 credits to make this ship to what it needs to be. Now, before you sit there and go, that's insane, and I ain't got the money for that, I have tips and tricks videos on this channel, and I'm going to put one here in the top right of the corner in an info card. Go ahead and watch that maybe after this video or right now if you really want to. But I probably recommend you watch and make sure this ship is really good and something that you really want. And then go ahead and watch that and go to tip number 7. In there, I have a nice little non-glitch, no exploit, no cheat, nothing, credit farm, and you can get about 20, 30, maybe 40k in about 5 minutes each, and it's definitely worth it. So if you have a problem with credits, go ahead and watch that tip number 7, and I promise you'll be able to use this ship in not a long time. Now, I will say the only thing you're definitely going to need is Tier 4 of piloting, and you're going to need Tier 2 of starship design. These are necessary because obviously you need it to create the stuff with the more powerful engines and all of that. Now, if we look over the ship even more and just pay attention to some of the stuff it has, if you look around, this thing has insane stats in the sense that this thing's got a nice 8 crew slots, over 1,000 shield. You have 28 light year jump. That's like one of the highest numbers you can get. And it's got insane damage with its weapons. You can go at fast speeds, 100 mobility, and everything you could want. It's insane. And I'm going to show you just about now how to go ahead and build this lovely thing. But of course, after the build, I will show you some perks that could make this even better, and even crew members that you could use to make this better. They're not required, but they're definitely optional, and they definitely make the ship even more of a god. It is one of the greatest things ever, guys, so let's get into it. Now, everything you're going to need can be found in the Deimos star station, so just go to the Sol system, which is obviously everyone should know where that is by now, and then head in towards Mars, and you'll see right next to it is a star station. That is the Deimos star station. Go on there, it's right next to Mars, and from there is where you can get all of these parts. Now, starting off, guys, obviously, we have to start with the landing bay. This is the obvious beginning of all the ships, and I highly recommend going with the Hope 4 landing bay. I don't believe any other one can give you the benefits this one does. I know you might be going landing bay and benefits. Well, this one has these side spots that allows you to put stuff all over, and a ladder, which is amazing because you can go ahead and put stuff on top, and it doesn't arch the top to where you'd actually block some habs and stuff. So this one's really good and very useful. And I mean, it's got a nice interior because it's nice and open and allows you to walk around before you leave off to your planet or when you come back. It's really neat, really cool, and it also has some really good benefits. So I highly advise the Hope 4 landing bay. So obviously after the landing bay, we have to have landing gears. So let's get into that. So here you go. We have these ones that are extremely useful. And these are the AccuLander 11 landing gears. Go ahead and put these as I do. You want to have 7 of them lined up next to each other. So go ahead and put this one right here. And go ahead and attach 2 of them to the right of this one and 4 more to the left. Now this will equal 7 next to each other. And you're going to want to have it look exactly like I do. So go ahead and just put them like this. Now, of course, if you're going to do it on one side, guys, you have to do it on the other. So go ahead and put 7 more in the same spot on this other side. So go ahead and do that. I'll go do it here. Now, these are really good because of the way they attach, and that even though they're attached to just each other, you don't have to attach them to an actual part of the ship, and they fit really well with the nice area of the landing bay, so they're all on an even plane. Now, after you got the whole structure of your ship ready to go and all the essential landing stuff, let's move on to the halves. This is where you walk around, obviously, so let's get into it. Now, this one is going to be a little weird, but this is how we're going to get our passenger slots. So you're going to want to put 3 3x1s living quarters in a row, like I have here. So go ahead and take all 3 of these and go ahead and attach them. You're going to want it to line up here in the front. So you're going to see I'm going to put it right about here to where it lines up in the front with the landing gear. So you want it to line up just like this. Go ahead and do that. That is pretty essential to what we're going to do, and it has to help with our weapons. And then you'll have this little 2 squares off of your living quarter in the back. So if you do this, it should look exactly like this, and this is the right way to do it. So this is a very good way. And now we have 6 passenger slots for everything we have to do with that. This is a very essential part, and I highly recommend you do this. If you don't want 6, you can always tone it down and always do 2 if you really need to put something else. But I highly recommend you just leave the 3 living quarters. Now, this is one of the pieces that you can actually customize to what you want. Now, I have a feeling that some reason it's always essential to me that I have to have a captain's quarters in my ship. So go ahead and put it on the far back. This should help make the ladder stay in the far back so the ladder doesn't sit awkwardly in the middle. So you can actually switch this out if you want to something like a workshop or science lab. It does not have to be a captain's quarter. You can go ahead and put whatever you want as long as it's a 2x1. So go ahead and be my guest. You can put infirmary if you want. You can put another living quarter if you want. You can go ahead and put anything you want as long as it's 2x1. I just did a captain's quarter, but like I said, you can do a workshop, science lab, infirmary, anything else that you want to do. Now, next up, you're going to need to attach the reactor. Now, we're going to go for one of the best. I think it is the best, but I mean, there could be one out there I don't know about. But this is the best reactor to my knowledge, so we're going to go with this one. This is the Fusor DC-401 reactor. Yeah, it's a weird name, but this is the best one. And you're going to want to attach it right here, so right in front of the captain's quarters, and it will sit right there. Now, this is really good, but yet again, this is a C-class reactor, which is going to require piloting 4. So yet again, make sure you have tier 4 and piloting. Of course, if you invest some early level skill points into it, you should be A-okay and be fine. So obviously put this reactor, and now let's move on. Now you're going to want to take a companionway, which is a nice 1x1 little hab. And you're going to want to take it and put it in front of the reactor just like so. This will make it line up with the landing bay, and it makes it so that the ladder basically looks like one straight way up, and it's super clean. So go ahead and now put a 110DP Docker top on top of the companionway. This will allow your Docker to be above the reactor so that there's no problems with your ship at the end. So do this, and let's move on to the next key essential part. Now, moving on, we obviously are going to need a bridge or cockpit. A bridge is just a larger cockpit, but they're a little more rare to find and have obviously cost a little more. This is going to give us our 8 crew slots, though, so go ahead and get one of these Ares bridge. Now, there's other tiers. I know mine says Starship rank 3. You do not need that. You don't even need a rank for this one, for the basic tier. All it is less cargo, but you still get the 8 crew slots. So all that matters is that you use a Ares bridge. It does not matter what type. Now, the bridges look so nice, and this is my favorite one in the game. So not only do you get the 8 crew slots, but you also are going to get a beautiful looking bridge. Now, this is the basic tier here. All it is less cargo, but we don't even want the cargo here in reality, solely because we want to depend on the shielded cargo that'll be in the video later. So obviously, just go ahead with the basic tier if you want. You do not need to get a more expensive tier. But if you want to, go ahead. If you don't, just get a basic tier. Now, this is essential. Make sure you put it on the companionway so that it's the only thing up there. Now that we got the habs out of the way, we got the foundation out of the way, now all we have to do is move on to the essential parts. So let's move to the grav drive. Here is an RD3000 beta grav drive. This is the one you're going to need. If there's better out there, I'm not sure of it, but you can go ahead and just use this one because this is all you're going to need. Now go ahead and plop this right behind the landing bay. It's a little hard to see, so let me zoom in here for you. But right here, as you can see, it's tucked away, and it helps keep your grav drive alive for longer, and allows you to escape in the heat of the moment. If you're really down, your ship is getting destroyed, and you absolutely need to, you can jump. But trust me, with this ship, you're not going to have to use it very much. So go ahead and put it right there. Now, moving on, we're going to have the next thing, and this is going to be, obviously, another essential part, your shields. This is the one that I'm going to use right here. This is the Odin 3030C shield generator. This is one that goes on the top so it doesn't look weird sticking out on one side. It is super neat, and just plop it on the back here on top of the captain's quarters in the back. This is a super clean, super nice shield generator. Does the job. Is there better out there? Yes, in terms of health, but the mass is so much that we can't reach our goal of 100 mobility. So if you don't mind not having 100 mobility, that's completely up to you. And obviously, you can adjust the ship any way you want. Now, moving on, obviously, guys, we're going to need the engines. So let's just get into it. This is the Supernova 2000 engine. This is a great essential part because these give you so much maneuverability. Now, moving on, let's keep it going. Let's put it here, and you're going to need 4 of them. Now, put one on the side here next to the shield generator. Now move on and grab another one and put it on the other side. Now you're going to want to take a third one and eventually a 4th one and put it right here on the reactor. This is going to allow it to look really neat. I put it one too high. Whoops. Let me go ahead there and put it right there. It looks really neat, and it kind of covers up the really thick reactor that just kind of sticks out and doesn't look so good. So it really helps hide it, makes the ship look better, and so on. So next, guys, we're going to need some fuel. So we're going to go ahead and get these ones. These are the H30 Atlas HE3 tanks. These are small. These ones do require your Starship design rank, but these are really small and neat, and they also give you 400, which is amazing, and it's super useful. So go ahead and get these. Now go ahead and grab it and just go put it under your engine right here. It's going to be nice and tucked away, and it's also not going to make the below the engine part really weird, and it's really just going to fill in the space. This is really clean, and go ahead and put one on the other side, and now you have 800 fuel. Trust me, you're going anywhere in this galaxy. Now, of course, guys, every good ship and every good pirate ship and any type of ship needs weapons. So we're going to grab these missile launchers. These are the weirdest named missile launchers in the solar system, but these are the whatever. This is the ATI 270C missile launcher. Now go ahead and grab 2 of these, and I'm going to put them right here on the cockpit. I think it looks really neat since they also are stationary and will just fire. I think they look really good there. So let's go ahead and put them there. These will do insane damage, guys, so make sure you put 2 of them, and these are going to be really, really useful. Now let's go ahead and get these weapons too. On a horizontal weapon mount, you're going to want to go and get one of these. These can be found in the structural tab. Now go ahead and find them right here like this. There you go. Go ahead and put one down, and then put it on the ship like this. Now go ahead and grab your weapon and put it on it. This is in the front of the living quarters, the very front living quarters. Now go ahead and put your gun on it. You're going to want to grab the PBO 300 Auto Alpha turret. These are insane, and they're very, very good. They do really good damage. Now go ahead and put it on top of it like this. Don't go ahead and do not put it on the bottom. It doesn't even let you do it, so I actually just go ahead and put it at the top. Now, of course, you're going to want to do this on the other side. So put another horizontal mount and put it on. Make sure your guns are facing straight. Let me show you. Hit Y on Xbox and you'll see that you can actually rotate these turrets. These are because this is auto turrets. Make sure the part where the bullets and stuff are going to come out of is in the front, facing the front. So go ahead and double check that. Now go ahead and put it on again. Let me fix it. There you go. And now it looks really clean. But that's not all, guys. Go ahead and grab these guns. These are the Disruptor 3340A Auto Alpha turrets. Go ahead and grab them on another horizontal and put them there. So grab another mount, put them there, and put the turrets on the top. These are going to allow them to be very effective, and they're going to look so clean. Your ship will look amazing if you do this. So go ahead and do this, and it looks so good. Now your weapons are set. Now, when you go ahead and set your systems, guys, you're going to want to put your missile launcher at weapon 0. Now, what this means is that you're going to have to use the right trigger on Xbox to fire. If you put it in weapon 1, that means you're going to have to use the left trigger to fire. And if you put it in weapon 2, that means you're going to use the Y. Now, the 2 auto turrets, guys, cannot be fired manually, as you'll see later in some ship combat gameplay. So go ahead and put those 2 on the ones you don't want to click and put the missile launcher on the button you do want to click. Now, the rest of the stuff you're going to need, guys, can be found in the Crick system or the Porma system. And as you can see on this map is where they are located, and they're a bit to the right of Alpha Centauri. Now, in the Crick system, here on the key is where you can find the stuff you're going to need. But I will warn you that this is Crimson Fleet territory, and if you're not on good terms with them, don't try going here because it's not going to work. Instead, if you want to, here in the Porma system, go to this planet right here. This is Porma 3. And go ahead and you're going to see on it is the Red Mile. Go to the Red Mile and find the ship service guy, and he will have all the stuff you need. Now go ahead back to your ship and get ready to do some more. Now we have to add some cargo for the piracy missions or smuggling missions. Same thing. So go ahead and find these little storage boxes here. These are going to be very good ones because they're lightweight and they still got a pretty good amount of storage. This is like the Caravel, whatever, V102 shielded cargo hold. These are very, very good. Like I said, they give you some good amount of cargo for a decently good mass. Now put one right here, I'd say about to the left of the tank. It looks really clean there. And go ahead and grab another one and put it on the opposite side to make it symmetrical. Don't worry about your mass, guys, because obviously this whole build is going to allow it to be 100 mobility. So go ahead and do that. Now go ahead, guys, and grab one of these, the 100 cm ballast shielded cargo, and put it here on the reactor. There's another spot you can put it if you want, so I'm going to show you on both. You can put one right here if you want, or go ahead and put it under the ship like so. This is where I like it. I think it's the most clean there. So go ahead and do that, and you'll have about 1,000 cargo. Now, guys, if you are like me and fill your ship with resources, go ahead and use the infinite chest in the lodge and put them all in there because that's a better spot anyway. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a video where I explained it in the top right. Go to tip number 4 and you'll see what I mean. Now, guys, I have some of these extra things on my ship. Now, guys, these are completely optional, but they definitely help. Here is a comm spike, and this increases your time to lock onto an enemy, or reduces it, sorry, your time to lock onto an enemy by a quarter of the time, and it also costs 20% less to use in targeting mode. And on the other side, we have a conduction grid, which helps reduce EM damage by 50% and will increase your shield regen by a quarter of the time. This is incredible, guys. If you have these, go ahead and put them on. I believe you unlock both of them during the Crimson Fleet and UC Vigilance questline. So if you haven't done it, it might not show up. I could also be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how you get them. So go ahead and do that quest to get these, and so on. Now, these are very useful, so of course, go ahead and put them on here in the bottom of the horizontal mount. I like to keep them out of the way, so I put them on that one instead of these ones. But I highly advise you guys do this. If you don't have them, it's not the end of the world. You do not need them, like, absolutely. They're just extra bonuses that it doesn't hurt to have. So go ahead and do that, and you're also going to want to get one of these. Now, these can be bought at either of the places mentioned before, Red Mile or Crix, and you can go ahead and get this one. I prefer the multi-frequency because this is going to allow you to increase your chance of evading a ship scan by 50% with shielded cargo, which is what we have. So it's very useful and will allow you to carry a lot of contraband around and not get caught. I highly advise you guys do this. Get this one. This is the most important one of them all. This is the one I say you should get absolutely. So go ahead and get this one. There's other tiers that are cheaper, so if you have to do it, go ahead and get those. But I highly advise you guys pay the price and get the multi-frequency, the 50% boost. Now, these are like I said, these are all optional. They're not 100% required, but they absolutely help the ship become what it is. So absolutely, guys, go ahead and get them. Now, that's it, guys, for crafting the ship. But that's not where it all has to end, guys. There's so many perks that we can use to improve this build. So let me show you some of those. There's also some crew members, as I said earlier, that also really help this ship out. And especially if you can't put every single thing that I did, whether it's a missing perk or you just don't have access to certain things like the comm spike and all that, this is a good way to remedy that. So let me show you guys that. And of course, in the background, you're going to see this ship just annihilate other ships and how good it really is in combat. So let's go ahead and look at some of the perks. So one of the perks you should absolutely go for is Ship Command. And it's at the bottom of the social tree, so it's going to be a little bit tough to get. But it definitely pays off in the end, at least tier 1. You don't even need tier 2, 3, or 4. Of course, they help, but you don't even really need them. Get Ship Command tier 1 if you can, because that'll allow you to get a lot of crew members on your ship, and especially the ones that are really useful. You can go ahead and get them and put them all at the same time. So I highly advise you guys pay attention to that one. Other than that, in the tech tree, the shield system perk is really good, and I highly advise getting that one to the max level as soon as possible, guys. Go for that one, obviously, after you do pilot and starship design, because obviously you can't build the ship without those. So then go ahead and do shield systems after that. Then you wanted to do maybe engine systems, though I would recommend only choosing one, engine or shield systems, and I really have to say that shield is probably better. So in reality, you probably should just skip engine systems until later if you want to come back to that perk, but it's definitely a shout out because it is good. Now, missile weapon systems is also a very good perk, but I'm not gonna lie, I would wait to spend your skill points on this one until you do this one. Automated weapon systems is going to be key because they are what shreds. Let your automated weapons go crazy. So I'm definitely going to say you want to max out this tier as fast as possible. I have done it and it honestly shreds ships. Go ahead and do this one as fast as you can, honestly. Also, Starship Engineering is not bad, but another one I would just say wait until the end to do it. And targeting control systems is another good one to get for tier 1. It's not really worth getting past that. Not at your early levels. Just get tier 1 and you should be good. Now for crew members, guys, this one is pretty simple. And the fact that the only two that you're like absolutely going to need is Omari Hassan and Vasco. Vasco obviously is going to just happen as you play the story. Because trust me, if you're playing Starfield, you've already met him. And also, the Hassan can be found right here at the hitching post right as you enter Aquila City. Just head on in, guys, and go ahead and recruit him. Have those two, and your shields are going to be boosted like crazy, guys. Have them both. I believe they completely stack, and it's incredibly useful, and it stacks with your own shield systems perk. So go ahead, guys, and make your shields go crazy. Alright, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot, guys, and I hope you guys found this build so useful. If you did, guys, subscribe, like the video, let me know what you guys think, comment down below, give me some ideas. Maybe if you guys want a ship that's more specialized in a specific thing, let me know. I'll see what I can do, guys. So thank you everyone so much again for watching. I hope you have fun with this ship build, and as always, guys, I'll see you in the Starfield.